Dr. Michael Gabriel, welcome to the Valder Beebe Show live out of Dallas, Texas. How are you today?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having me on.
Well, I wanted to talk about palliative care, and I was told that you're a great person to address some questions. First of all, I put that out there that you were coming, and a lot of people ask me, well, what the heck is palliative care? And I know you know, so could you explain that to my audience before we get started?
Yes, and thank you so much for asking that. Palliative care is an extra layer of support for patients, very comprehensive support to really develop a personalized goal and care plan that helps with the emotional, the physical, the spiritual, the coordination and communication, and advocacy involved in serious illness. Serious illness like things like advanced heart failure, cancer, COPD, dementia, and other diagnoses like that.
Okay. A lot of care is falling on the families. I don't know why we're a society like that, but that's okay. A lot of people do it out of love, out of care, but you know that totally derails their life. So, what should the caregiver be watching out to see if maybe they're burnt out from this kind of care?
No, first of all, it's a deep thank you for our caregivers because they are a crucial element of our support team. And in the United States, more often than not, an unpaid support team. But they do run the risk, especially as illness progresses, to experience the symptoms of caregiver burnout. And that's going to be things like irritability, mood swings, anxiety, guilt, loss of interest in their activities they normally do, sometimes physical symptoms like fatigue and sleep problems, and some general withdrawal from their daily activities.
So, caregivers we know want to take care of their loved ones, whether it's a mom, a dad, a child, someone with disability. Even I'm finding a lot of people who weighed in on you coming. They're taking care of an aunt or an uncle because they didn't have any kids or things like that. So it extends over all boundaries. How do caregivers find support for what they're doing?
No, it certainly does over boundaries, and most of those providers are also working. 70% are working. Um, so I think that you've really outlined it well. I think in order to find support, one, I think there's an internal element because there's such a stigma around this feeling of I'm not doing enough, or I feel guilty because I'm feeling these feelings. And I think that those feelings need to be validated. Caregiver burden is in and stressors are so common. 64% of patients experience some emotional stress, and nearly 50% with physical symptoms. But I think that one is being able to know that you're not alone and your feelings are validated. Two is looking for organizations, national organizations such as the Caregiver Action Network, or the Family Caregiver Alliance for those research and support. But I think as patients have more serious illness, like the ones I mentioned earlier, I think that considering palliative care is a really impactful element as well to help with both the patient and family member to improve their quality of life and prepare them for more resilience in terms of the caregiver role.
Okay, my audience is spread out on multiple platforms, and I hopefully your team told you that my audience is made up of people born between 1946 and 1964. They're known as baby boomers, but a lot of them are caring for people in their own generation or people from the silent generation. And then, as you know, the silent generation are their parents
Yes.
who are up in age at this particular time. So the poster would love to know, is there a place to get trained as a family caregiver? Because they recently found out that they were entitled to respite services and they had no idea what that meant.
No, and I think you've outlined one of the huge problems and flaws in our current medical system is that caregivers are providing so much support and then a lot of times very skilled giving medications, providing activities of daily living like bathing, things like that, that require training at times, and a very few of them are receiving that. So that is also the element. You mentioned respite care, which is the ability to have a patient in under care while the caregiver can officially have some time away from it. And I think that not knowing these are such an important element that we need to do a better job on. That's where I think that speaking to your providers, asking those questions, and again, consulting with the palliative care team can be very helpful to, one, teach some of those actions that you may need to do, but also advocate to see what resources are available locally, what you may qualify for, and also help you to get to that point and get to the point of action with those things.
I want my audience to know I'm speaking with Dr. Michael Gabriel. He's the National Medical Director of Carelon Palliative Care. Okay, Dr. Gabriel, how is palliative care different from hospice care?
No, I think that's a very good question, and I'm glad to relay the distinction of the two. Hospice is a phenomenal benefit for patients targeted at the end, near the end of life, and patients with a terminal illness to help support their quality of life at that point. Palliative care can be implemented at any point during a patient's medical journey, and with palliative care, you can do that at the same time as curative treatment, things like chemotherapy or any plan like that, as well as continue to see all of your providers, your primary care provider, your specialist, any community resources. We're here to be that extra layer of support and help coordinate and collaborate with those groups. And I think those are some of the key distinctions with palliative care and hospice.
So how do you integrate the two, telling my primary doctor, we'll say who's caring for my relative, that I've got palliative care? How do we integrate that and make that work for us rather than having two separate teams?
Well, that you are asking excellent questions. The key element there is we don't want to contribute to those silos of healthcare, and that historically creates issues. So our team, once we're seeing a patient and their caregiver, we're evaluating that, but we're also speaking directly with their medical team so that it is a single plan. And that plan is due to the wishes and the goals of the patient and family. So our job is to make sure that's coordinated and happening and advocated for, so that it never feels like multiple layers, but feels like one combined team working with the patient's best interests in mind.
Dr. Gabriel, this has been so good. I wish I had months to spend with you, but I don't. I only have a little bit of time. Online, where can my audience go and get more information?
I would certainly point you to our website at carelon.com. That's CARELON.com. There's multiple information, FAQs about palliative care, about caregiver support that you'll find there. But I'd also ask that if this resonates with anybody, that they have conversations with their providers about a potential referral as well, because the earlier we can be involved and work on these and identify these issues, the faster we can get to some solutions as well.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gabriel. This has been very informative.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, I'm Valder Beebe, host of The Valder Beebe Show. We have over 1,000 videos on ValderBeebeShow.com and YouTube.com/ValderBeebeShow. We upload new videos daily. Our site is a modern baby boomer platform with news and information important to boomers. Subscribe to YouTube.com/ValderBeebeShow and stay connected as I interview the world's most fascinating people.